Orlando Magic fans. Woo! Your Orlando Magic, in their first ever appearance in the NBA play-in tournament, are victorious by a lot, 120-95 over the Atlanta Hawks, which will send your Orlando Magic back to the playoffs for the second season in a row. This time, our reward is the Boston freaking Celtics. Game 1, Sunday. We'll find out the time later tonight. After this Grizzlies-Warriors game, they should announce the tip-off time. But regardless, Sunday, Game 1, Magic in Boston. Wow. Hard to believe. Very exciting. And what a performance tonight. A very interesting game. Not the way that many Magic fans expected this game would go. The final score, maybe, but not the way we got there. And I'm super excited to get to talk about it with you. Welcome to the show. My name's Kevin. This is the Six Man Show Postgame Live. It's our live postgame show after each and every Orlando Magic game. Again, Magic win 120-95 over the Atlanta Hawks. 25-point dub. Very, very exciting. But yeah, this is our live show on YouTube after every single Orlando Magic game. Glad you're hanging out with us, whether you're watching it live or watching it later. This is going to be a fun one for sure. This show is brought to you by Rock'em. They're the world's largest sock store. They make some amazing socks and underwear for some of your favorite sports teams, including the Orlando Magic. And look, you trying to gear up for this playoff series here? Look what Rock'em has to offer for you. Look at all this amazing Orlando Magic options here. Like they got these new low-cut socks. I obviously always love the stuff underwear. That's why it's on the wall behind me. I today wore the Play the Song socks, and they proved to be good luck. So maybe if you buy them, they will also be good luck for you. I always love the Statement Edition and, of course, the classics from last year. But yeah, shop at Rock'em.com, whether it's for Magic stuff or other stuff, and use this code MAGIC20 when you do, because it'll give you 20% off your order at Rock'em.com all season long. Big shout out to Rock'em for supporting the show. What a wild way to qualify for the playoffs. Again, your Orlando Magic back in the playoffs for the second consecutive year. Very excited about that. Again, this game did not exactly go how I expected it to go, and I think most Magic fans probably didn't expect it to go this way, but a win is a win is a win. Let's go to our super chats first. If you're brand new to the show, again, because it is the postseason now, I know we got a ton of people hanging out with us tonight. Best way to get involved in the show is in the YouTube chat, specifically super chats. You submit a super chat, you'll get read on the show for sure. But also, we will go to the chat here in just a moment and see what other people have to say. But first, we do have a super chat from our dear friend Janine, who says, "Bring on Boston in the play-in tournament. Play the song." That is right, Janine. Let's go. Let's go. I'm fired up and terrified all at once. It's a very interesting place to be as Magic fans, and obviously we'll talk more about that later. But in the meantime, Janine did just say the three most magical words in all of sports, and let's do it. Let's play the song. Let's go. Play the song. Rock'em.com. Code MAGIC20. I just dropped all my socks. Oh, man. What a night. What a night. Little dicey there, but we'll talk about that. Michael Martin with a super chat says, "We were right in the Zoom chat. Play the song. Let's go." Yeah, if you missed it, we had our Patreon Zoom chat or Zoom call last night. Michael Martin is one of our patrons. Janine was on there as well. Yeah, we do a monthly Zoom call, and if you're interested in that, you go to patreon.com/the6man show, by the way. Shameless plug. And yeah, we were right. We said the Magic would win convincingly. Almost everybody agreed with that. We also had a little over-under conversation on Cole Anthony, over under 10 points. Obviously smashing the over. Can't wait to talk about Cole here in just a moment. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. Thanks for that super chat. And then Lexi says, "Are you hype right now or what?" I am hype. And here's why I'm hyped. Okay, it's kind of twofold. I'm going to be honest. I am hyped, obviously, because the Magic just qualified for the playoffs. Very hyped about that. Can't wait. I'm excited to play Boston. It's a great challenge. I'm also a little bit giddy right now. Like, I'm kind of a little bit... The way the Hawks collapsed in that fourth quarter was a thing of beauty. To see Trae Young quite literally abandon his team with a hissy fit, a little temper tantrum as he stormed off the floor, was a work of art. It was amazing to watch. And I know there are a lot of Magic fans that want to see Trae in a Magic jersey. Admittedly, sometimes I talk myself into it. Trae does a lot of things that the Magic really, really need, right? But after tonight, I want nothing to do with a man that has a temper tantrum in a postseason game. And was the game over? Probably. Like, it would have taken a miracle at that point. They were already down 20, I think, with 4 minutes left or whenever that happened, right? The game was essentially over. But for him to quite literally just abandon his team because he wanted to throw a hissy fit and storm to the locker room was wild to see. I did not expect that from him, and I want nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. That's just a quitter. He didn't get his way, so he wanted to literally take his ball, pick up his ball, and walk home. Can't do that. Childish. Unreal. That was wild. So, yeah, I'm also a little bit giddy tonight because that was really entertaining. And Steven, another one of our patrons, says Trae showed up 3 hours early to foul bait and get ejected. He showed up 3 hours early and left the game 4 minutes early. That's crazy. Crazy. The other thing that makes me happy is watching George Niang leave Orlando with an L. You just love to see that. You love to see it. You love Franz getting the and one on him at the end of the game there. Like, you know, and it was right after the Trae ejection too. Like, you know, Franz wanted to flex on him so bad, but I think he was afraid he would get another T like he did last year when he pointed at him after he sent him to the deck. Wow. Okay. What a game. First off, there are a bajillion of you hanging out with us on this Tuesday night. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Obviously, a lot of Magic fans super excited about this one. Here's what I'd like to do. You're watching this game or watching the show on YouTube right now. I would like to hear from you. So in the chat, please let me know. Give me your Magic Celtics prediction in the chat. Who wins, how many games, and as we go through the chat later in the show, I'll get to all those responses and we'll talk to those. So we'll do that. In the meantime, we did just get another super chat. This one is from another of our patrons. Our patrons are on fire tonight. This is Ryan Singh. Says, AB got in Trae's head tonight. Love to see that. Yeah, again, got under his skin, which AB has done to many veteran players, by the way, in his short career. AB is very gifted in that, I think. He might have learned some from Mo Wagner, maybe. But yeah, he was great and got in Trae's head, and Trae had enough and decided he wanted to go home. He was done. He didn't feel like being out there the rest of the game, so he wanted to have a little temper tantrum. But hey, he got the attention that he wanted. Michael Martin, again, patron of ours, says, we're not losing to no minivan. Yeah, not minivan this year. Take the L. Take the L, George Niang. Enjoy it. Head back to Atlanta and play. I'm guessing Chicago, but we'll see tomorrow. All right, folks, let's go to the chat. Let's see what the chat has tonight. We'll hit some of these. I'll try to get to several of them, but obviously won't be able to get to all of them. You guys are going crazy in the chat. Merritt's Cast says, Trae got his feelings hurt. Facts. Little crybaby. Good gracious. Jovi says, Dell playing like a grown man finally. When Dell was... Is it just playing Atlanta? Because he did this last Tuesday against Atlanta. He was so good. He wasn't on. I'll say it, the beginning of the game he wasn't terrific. I don't know, the first 4 or 5 minutes or so, like gave up a couple bad rebounds. That's not true. He was pretty good in those first 5 minutes. I remember there being a couple rebounds that I wish he would have had, but he did. I think he scored like 10 points in his first 5 minutes. So I take back what I said. Wendell was very good tonight. Very, very good tonight. It's something about playing Atlanta. Man. Let's see what else we got here. Ty Mr. TV says, it's a cold world, Ice Trae. Yeah, absolutely. Chris D says, Cole's consistency is the only thing holding him back. Same with AB. Both may have grown up a bit tonight. We have said that a million times on this show, that the issue that 99% of Magic fans have with Cole is his inconsistency, right? That has plagued him the last 2 seasons. But you're right. If he can be consistent, it quite literally changes the dynamic of this team. Like, if you have a consistent guy off the bench, able to get you buckets, it's huge. And specifically this team, right? Powell and Franz, like, they can only do but so much. They can carry but so much. And then nights like tonight where they're really struggling, there has to be someone else that can step up. And honestly, thank God for Cole, because he was great tonight. Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of people calling out Trae Young. A lot of play the songs in the chat, which you love to see. Seth Berry says Wendell was for sure the X factor in this game aside from Cole. Absolutely. Really, really fast. I do want to remind you guys before I go through more of the messages in the chat, which, by the way, there's 250 of you hanging out with us live on YouTube and many more watching over on X. Glad everybody's here tonight. I do want to let you guys know later tonight, and I mean late tonight, like it'll be definitely after midnight. Ben Gifford of the Six Man Show is outside of Kia Center right now filming the Sixth Fan Show. So we are going to get Magic fans' reactions to this game. Fans that were at this game, get their reactions outside the arena and get, I'm sure, their predictions for the Boston series, all that kind of stuff. So you'll definitely want to tune into that. If you're not a night owl, just wait till you wake up in the morning. It'll be there. But I say that to say, if you are going to go to any of these home games coming up in this series against Boston, which, by the way, I am begging all Magic fans, local to Central Florida or otherwise, to go to those games, because we have to make sure the Boston fans aren't there. We know Boston fans live in Central Florida. They don't like Boston. They don't like New England, so they come live where we live. It's just the way it is. It's the joys of living in paradise. That's the way it goes, right? I'm imploring Magic fans to show up to these games. It's very important. But what I'm getting at is, if you do show up to those games, right now we're currently planning to do the Six Fan Show after every single home game in this series, just like we did last season. So if you want to get involved in that outside of Kia Center, usually it's over in, like near the team shop kind of area, near the box office. It's really usually across from the box office, but somewhere over there. Ben's going to be outside of Kia for all the home games in this Boston series. So definitely come be a part of that. It'll be fun. All right, back to the chat we go. Yeah, okay. Christian says the energy in here was electric in the fourth. It was a great first game for my daughter. Go Magic. That's right, Christian. I remember you said that. Yeah, that's amazing. Such an interesting, watching it on TV, such an interesting vibe. Like first quarter, second quarter felt great. Obviously, third quarter happens. The Hawks start to get back in it. Feels a little nervy. The beginning of the fourth, they make it very interesting. Very uneasy feeling, it felt like, in the building. Plus, there was that stretch early in the fourth that the refs were calling everything, and they had the clock malfunction and all that kind of stuff. It just chopped the game up really bad, and it kind of detracted from the atmosphere, it felt like. But I was so glad that the atmosphere was able to pick it back up there late in the second half of the fourth quarter, essentially, once the Magic went on that great run. Seth Berry says the Boston chants are crazy. I love it. I said the same thing. I was texting Jonathan Osborne, who was at the game. I was like, Jonathan, are you starting these "We Want Boston" chants? Because on the one hand, like, the principle is correct. Like, we want to advance to the playoffs, and we just happen to be playing Boston, and so "We Want Boston" makes sense. But on the other hand, saying "We Want Boston" is also kind of like a challenge. And I'm not trying to challenge the Boston Celtics. Like, we don't need them to be even more hyped for this, you know? No, thank you. The Sauceson says, play this song extra loud for Trae Young. Yeah, I hope he enjoyed getting to hear the song from the locker room while the rest of the team was out there, dapping up the Magic, congratulating them on a great win. Hilarious. Scott's Weekend Sports says we want Boston. Hey, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Merritt's Cast says Franz got to get it together in time for Boston, though. Facts. Yeah, Paolo and Franz, neither great tonight. Hope they got this out of their system, because we need them to be great to have a chance in Boston. X Snappa says, no way we beat Boston, but I like that matchup better than Cleveland. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. O Diggy says, Cole, Anthony, Black World. Love that. Yeah, Cole, Anthony, great. Anthony, Black, great. They were huge tonight. In fact, now that I think about it, as this game was wrapping up, I was putting the stats on the bottom line here. Outside of when Paolo and Franz were out injured, I think this might be the first game of the season that I have not put either one on the bottom line. Like in games that they both played, this is probably the first time I haven't put one of them down there. But statistically, they had 17 and 13, but what's his name? Paolo's 17 was highly inefficient. 4 of 13 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. The free throw line is what saved him. And so, obviously, he had the 9 boards and 7 assists and a steal and a block and all those things. Great numbers. But offensively speaking, it was not his night, and it was not Franz's night, but it belonged to Cole and to AB and to Wendell, and you love to see that. All right, we got a couple super chats that just came in here. One is from Jalen Lawson, says, Mo hyping up the squad almost brought a tear to my eye. Man, we miss Mo. How great would it be to see Mo Wagner in this Boston series? You know he would just love it. Love it. Tragic that we're not going to get to see that. Only Mello says, I live in Rhode Island, and I'm going to Boston to watch the game, and the Garden is going to be a nasty place with my P5 jersey on. Facts, bro. Boston is tough. That is a tough place to be an opposing fan. Good luck to you. Be smart, all right? Don't encourage any shenanigans from those Boston fans. They'll give you enough, all right? They will give you enough. All right, just checking to make sure I'm not missing any kind of crazy notifications. A couple people were asking about the schedule. Magic will play Game 1 Sunday in Boston. We don't know a time yet. Typically in years past, they've announced the time at the conclusion of the 7-8 game, the Western Conference game. So tonight, the Memphis Golden State game, that game should be over by about 1 a.m. So I would expect between 1 and 1:30, they might release the Game 1 schedule for these series. But also, in years past, the 7-2 game, which the Magic will be a part of, has been on Saturday. And this year, they put it on Sunday. So I don't know. Maybe they'll do something different here. Not really fast. Just a moment. I'm gonna go away from the chat here for a second because we do have a special guest joining us. Very special to the show. And let's see if I can move him there. There we go. Very special guest to the show. And someone who's at the game tonight, Mr. Jonathan Osborne. What is up, brother? Let's go.
What's going on, baby? Big dub. That third quarter got us a little bit nervous, but yeah, man, Cole Anthony, bro. Cole Anthony, AB, J.I. Wendell. I mean, Powell and Franz, they'll have their time against Boston, I'm sure. But you don't win this game without – if one of those four guys doesn't have – I mean, you win by 25, but each of those guys had such an impact on this game, man. It's just it was awesome. Crowd was great. I know it sounded a little bit quiet, especially in that third quarter, beginning of the fourth, but just the whistles, there's just no flow to that game. The officiating was just so bad. But yeah, man, for the most part, great crowd, big dub. I know there's the We Want Boston chance. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, just happy to get this one for sure.
Love that, dude. Yeah, it sounded electric, except for those two stretches, like you said. Watching on TNT, it sounded electric. They even commented about it. Brian Anderson said this place was rocking and all that kind of stuff. Very cool stuff. And hey, it wasn't, I was just telling them, it wasn't the way that we expected it. I'm just realizing I put the wrong Hawks final score on this one. They only scored 95. It wasn't the way we expected. But at the end of the day, the score is about what we expected. Like, we talked about it on the show yesterday. Like, we expected a blowout. Like, I don't know about blowout, but a comfortable win. And in the end, it was that. A huge fourth quarter from the Magic. I know that was probably a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, it was a blast. Yeah, Cole Anthony gets cooking. That dead ball where he hits the three from almost the logo, and you're like, okay, well, it doesn't count, but he clearly has it going. And then when he got that ball in the corner, you just knew it was going in. Place goes crazy. And then I don't know if you could tell on the broadcast, right before Trey got ejected, AB threw him like 3 rows deep into the stands.
Love
Easily
that.
could have been a double technical, but hey, sometimes home team gets away with some stuff. And the way that Ice Trey just completely melted down here in the good old Sunshine State, him getting ejected, that was one of the sweetest things that we could ask for in this one. And at that point, I mean, it was over, but that really solidified it.
Yeah, this is literally how I opened the show. Like, I was very excited. Obviously, the Magic won and everything, but I was also very giddy because watching him collapse like that was just a work of art. It was beautiful. And not just collapse, but he like straight up gave up on his team. He said, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to take my ball and go home, literally. And the whole thing was really, really funny. So anyway, yeah, that's awesome, man. I know Magic fans were all excited to see what this team can do against Boston. Jonathan and myself will be recording the next episode of the Six Man Show tomorrow night, and so that'll come out Thursday morning. We'll do a full preview of the Magic Celtics series, talk all kinds of stuff about that. It's going to be wild. It's going to be very, very interesting. But yeah, looking forward to that. Jonathan, appreciate you checking in. What's up?
Have fun editing the Six Man Show tonight. There were some rowdy folks out here.
Some rowdy ones? Oh, boy. I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait. It'll be fun. But, yeah, I plugged that, too. Yeah, definitely tune into the Six Man Show. Sounds like it's going to be a fun one, so I'll get that edited later tonight. But anyway.
Let's go to Boston.
Let's go to Boston and see what can happen. All right? Appreciate you, bro.
Peace.
Later. All right. The greatest, the legend, Jonathan Osborne hanging out with us live from Kia Center after that one. That was pretty cool. All right, let's go back to the chat. Here's what we got. By the way, shout out Jonathan. I don't know if he came up with that on his own or stole that from someone, but like ice tray melting down in the Sunshine State. That's a good line. That's a good line, Jonathan Osborne. He's the GOAT, man. All right, let's see what else we got here from the chat. We'll hit a few more of these, and then we'll go check out the box score and all that kind of stuff. Kyle Santo, yeah, exactly. Says, after the way he acted, I'm not sure Orlando wants Trey. No, thank you. I'm Jovi says, those blue shirts hold weight. Play the song. Yeah, those were sick. I'm so jealous. As a absolute diehard fan of the song, it's literally on my license plate. Play the song. Like, that shirt is clean. I am so jealous. Freddie says, Magic at 5. Let's go. Here, I will say this, Freddie. I will say this. Earlier this morning, I went back and watched the last quarter and a half, the last 18 minutes of the Magic's comeback win over the Celtics on December 23rd without Paolo or Franz, by the way. I'll add that in there. And after watching that, I was like, bro, Magic in 4. Sweet. We're sweeping them. Forget this. Obviously, I'm kidding, but I was very fired up, and I'm gonna probably watch it again before Sunday. All right, lots more play the songs in the chat. Love to see that. Celtics on the way. Merritt's Cast says AB was a dog tonight. Yep. Doc 2 says AB took Trey's lunch money. Beautiful. Chrissy says, listening to the game in Georgia with the Hawks announcer. That guy needs a pacifier after his temper tantrum. Hey, he can get in line. Apparently there's a lot of people in that organization that need a pacifier for their temper tantrums. Wild stuff. Wild stuff from the Hawks tonight. Ace the Baller says, P5 is a quiet monster. No one wants to wake him up. Absolutely. Again, I'm about to pull up the box score here in just a second, but didn't have a great offensive night, but Paolo did a lot of other things really well. Stephen Luong says 57 bench points. Beautiful. Love to see that. Scott's Week in Sports says, I'll be watching game 1 from Las Vegas as I will be in Vegas for WrestleMania. Wow. Big time. Big time stuff. Ace says, didn't we have like 50 plus bench points in the Indy game? That sounds about right. Friday, yeah. I think we had a bunch of bench points. I don't remember. That was a weird one because we had 0 starters playing. But yeah. Yep. Chris says, sore loser mentality from Trae Young. What a baby. Absolutely. Joseph Chubb says, Trae not making his pitch to the Magic front office very well. Yeah, not good. Not good. Chris D says, I'm at Disney World May 18th through 24th. If the Magic are still alive then, I would love an opportunity to attend my first home Magic game. If the Magic are still alive May 18th through 24th, that's like game 5 or 6 of the second round. That means the Magic are, no, that's probably like game 6. Wait, round 1 ends May 4th. So yeah, that is like Eastern Conference Finals realm right there. Not quite. It's close though. That's like you're at the end of the quarterfinals, knocking on the door, or I guess it's the Eastern Conference semifinals. You're at the end of the second round, knocking on the door of the Eastern Conference Finals. That would be wild. Wild stuff. I saw we just had a super chat. It's from Nick Monks. Says, why was Shaq rooting for the Hawks? Thank you for bringing that up. I don't understand that guy, man. Thanks for that super chat. He's just grumpy about the Magic, man. It's so old. It's so annoying. We've talked about it a lot on the Six Man Show, me and Jonathan. It's so old. He doesn't like Paolo because he sees Paolo is the biggest threat to Shaq's legacy in Magic history. And that's even after Dwight. I say that because I think Paolo is knocking on the doorstep of being the greatest Magic player of all time. Obviously, a long way. A lot of time has to pass before we get there. A lot of winning has to happen. But on that trajectory, he right now is on that trajectory to be the greatest Magic player of all time. And I think he sees Paolo as a threat, and he's grumpy about it, and I don't get it, man. I don't get it. All right, let's read a couple more of these, and then we're going to definitely look at the box score. Let's see. Peter says, oh, let's go. Rael says, I'll be there for game 3. I can't wait to see what the schedule is going to be. I'm hoping I'm really hoping I can be there for 3, 4, 6. I don't know. Well, at least 2. My goal is at least 2 games. We'll see what the schedule ends up being. Brandon says, GOAT, Kev. No, Brandon's the GOAT. Brandon does a ton of wild, amazing analytic stuff. Stuff that is way over my head. He's super, super smart. Shout out, Brandon. All right, let's see what else we got here. P plus Clint says, Cole, AB, Wendell, the big 3 we didn't know we had or needed. Yeah, they were huge tonight. Huge tonight. Love to see that. All right, let's take a break from the chat for a second and go check out the box score. I have barely looked at this thing tonight. So let's see what we got over here in terms of the box score. Franz, where'd I go? There we go. Franz, I didn't realize he had 13 boards. Shout out Franz. 14 points, 13 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, a block, only 2 turnovers, had those 4 fouls. Didn't shoot the ball great, 0 of 5 from 3, and honestly, that shot looks worse than ever. It does not look right. It does not look right. I hate to say it. We talked about Paolo already, 17 points for him. Not a good shooting night, just 4 of 13 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, but did have 9 free throws. Add to it 9 boards, 7 assists, a steal, and a block, and only 3 turnovers. So combined 5 turnovers between Paolo and Franz. You'll take that. Wendell, we already talked about him. He was great. 19 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks. KCP, come on, brother. It's postseason time. We got to have you do better than 5 points on 1 of 7 from 3. Corey Joseph, I thought he was very solid in that first quarter. That's really the only time he was super impactful was in that first half. But I thought he was a really good calming presence early in the game when the Magic really couldn't buy a bucket. He did a good job of, he knocked down a couple shots early, got a couple guys, kept a couple possessions alive. And so I was pretty happy with what you got from Corey Joseph. Caleb Houston, not looked like the Caleb Houston we got at the end of the regular season. Just took 1 3 and didn't make it. Anthony Black, huge performance for him, 16 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, and 2 blocks, 3 of 3 from 3. He has become, this is crazy. He has become, honestly, probably our most reliable catch and shoot shooter. Like, if he catches the ball and he's open, especially in the corners, he's borderline automatic, it feels like. Where were we? Gary Harris came in, played 13 minutes. Oh, there's a nap. Played 13 minutes, made his only 3-point attempt. Give Gary credit. J.I. was super active in his 18 minutes, had 8 boards. 2 of those were offensive, 6 points as well. Story of the night, though, Cole Anthony, undoubtedly the story of the night. 26 points for him, including 4 of 9 from 3. Also had 3 boards and 5 assists. I think you win this game without Cole playing this well, but it's not comfortable. It is tight. It is tight and dicey. But yeah, he was huge tonight. Huge. Magic just shoot 28% from 3, 11 of 39. They end up with 62 rebounds to Atlanta's 50, so that's great. And they had 28 assists on 44 field goals. Let's take a look at some of these team stats here. Magic, obviously, big first quarter to have a 15-point lead. Atlanta outscores you in the second and the third, and then the Magic blow the doors off this one. 41-22 in that fourth quarter. Big time closeout by this team at home. Magic with 58 points in the paint. That's crazy. 19 fast break points. Wow, that's on the higher end for this team. They led by as many as 29, 57 bench points, just 8 turnovers in this game. Amazing stuff. Yeah, very, very good stuff. The thing we typically do after this, during the regular season, we check out the scores around the league, and we check out the standings. Well, we're not going to check out standings because standings don't matter anymore, but we will check out the only other game going on tonight. It is Warriors-Grizzlies. They're just tipping off the second quarter. Warriors are up 7, again, early in that one. Maybe there is one other thing I can do here. It says they have a playoff bracket. Is that updated? Yes, it is. Look at that. Magic. Oh, my face is in the way. Magic, Celtics, first round. That is crazy to think about. The last time that we played the Boston Celtics in the playoffs, 2009, no, that's not true. 2010 in the Eastern Conference Finals. I almost wiped that from my memory because that was ugly. I was going to say 2009, the semifinals, or I guess the second round, you could say. When that series went to 7 games and Magic won Game 7 in the Boston Garden, which was electric. But yes, the very next year, we played them in the Eastern Conference Finals. Went down 0-3, won Game 5, That's wrong. Won game 4, won game 5, made it 3-2, and then the Celtics closed it out in game 6 at home. So that was tough. That was unfortunate. So, but that'll be interesting. That'll be very, very interesting to see how that one shakes out. All right, back to the chat we go. Let's see what else we got. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Okay. Ryan Singh says, first round tickets go on sale tomorrow. I would guess so. Obviously, as soon as this game finished, I got right on here. I haven't seen them. Usually, PR will tweet it out, the Magic PR team, but I would assume that is the case. I don't see anything yet. Oh, no, they do. Yep, tickets go on sale tomorrow. Pre-sales at 10 a.m. and the sale goes open to the public at 1 p.m. By then, we'll know the schedule. Like I said, typically in years past, you'll get it tonight as soon as this late game is done, so around 1 a.m. So by the time you wake up in the morning, you should have a schedule that can help you decide the games you'll go to. But again, I just have to implore Magic fans to be at these home games. Okay, the Boston fans are going to try to take over the building. They always do. It's what happens when they don't like the cold and they come live in paradise. It's the way it goes. Okay. We can't let it happen. Can't do it. All right, back to the chat we go. Adam Lannon says, leaving the game. Kia was rocking. Let's go. She says, Magic beat the Celtics in 7. That would be outrageous. Tyler says, I hear new logo to be revealed. That true? Seems that way. Seems that could be coming. Let's see. Steven says George Niang needs to get fined for slashing our glorious king P5. Facts. Get him out of here. Just kidding. I honestly think George Niang's season's about to be done on Friday. If the Bulls beat the Heat tomorrow, I am absolutely picking the Bulls on Friday. If it's Miami that wins, I think the Hawks have a chance, but Chicago's a buzzsaw right now, man. They're playing well. They're playing really fun basketball. If they can beat Miami tomorrow, I would absolutely pick them to beat the Hawks on Friday. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Merritt's Cast says Boston in 6. Ty says Magic in 6. Freddie says Magic in 5. Nathan says 4-2, but doesn't say who. A mystery. I'm Jovi says Boston in 6. Duvall says Magic in 6. Is that Isla? Says Boston in 6. She says Magic win game 5 in Boston. Yep. Austin says Magic in 7 or Boston in 5. You can't give 2 answers. Come on. Gotta give me one. Ryan Singh says 4-2 Celtics. Only Hero says Magic in 6. Peter says Magic at 4. Let's go. Majestic B says Magic at 3. Love that. K. Will says Magic in 7. That would be so crazy, man. That would be, if we beat the Celtics, that'd be insane. The whole NBA world outside of Boston would absolutely love us if we were able to do that. Love that. Sawstone says Magic in 5. Escoso Fresco says win our games 3 and 4. Great question. Glad somebody asked that because I will pull up my fancy spreadsheet that I always work on when it comes to like the schedule and stuff. I just got to find it. I will tell you exactly when I believe games 3 and 4 will be. Obviously, things can always be different. The NBA can change up how they're doing things, but I will tell you, historically, game 3s have been on Thursday. Well, our series starts on Sunday. So historically, they have been typically Friday, Saturday would be game 3. Obviously not this Friday, Saturday, but the following. So that would be April 26th, 24th, 26th, 24th, 25th. No, 25th, 26th. That's Friday, Saturday. 25th, 26th would be game 3 in theory. Game 4 could be either that Sunday or Monday, typically. Not guaranteed, but typically. So game 3, 25th, 26th. Game 4, 27th, 28th. That kind of range. So we're definitely talking about next weekend. Those games being somewhere around that weekend. So, and then guaranteed game 6, if there is one, would be either Thursday or the following Thursday or Friday. That's when game 6s always are, Thursday, Friday. So that's for sure. Lock it in. Thursday or Friday. So that would be the, when is that? May 1st? May 1st or May 2nd? Yeah, that's when it is. May 1st, May 2nd, Game 6 at home, if necessary, of course. Games 3 and 4 at home would be sometime over, not this weekend, but next weekend. Okay. That's my long answer to your short question. There we go. Let's see what else. Scott's Week says Celtics in 6. Time Mr. TV says my heart says Magic in 7. Head says Celtics in 6. Yeah. Christy says Hawks gonna get killed by Chicago. That's how I feel too, man. That's how I feel. That is how I feel. All right, let's see what else we got here. Major Everett says AB plus 34, Cole plus 32, Wendell plus 28. Absolutely ridiculous. That's crazy. I didn't even notice those plus minuses. That's wild. That is wild. Says David Carlos, you're wildin', bro. Regardless of the temper tantrum, you know you want this dude on our roster. I do not. Nah, bro. There is more to life than stats, man. That dude, that shows a lot of his character tonight came through, and that I want nothing to do with that on our team, man. No, thank you. No, thank you. Nope. The thing is, like, I know without a shadow of a doubt, there's not a player on our roster that would do that. Nope. Crazy. Steven says, took the day off here in Australia to watch this game. Let's go. Let's go. Love that. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Do you believe in? It says, hit the like button. Yes. If you're still hanging out with us, which, by the way, there's still a ton of you here. Again, if you're watching live or you're watching later, maybe you're listening on podcast platform or something, hit the like button. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening to us on a podcast platform, obviously give us 5 stars or whatever platform you use, however they use to rate things. Hit the like button. If you're brand new around here, subscribe. We are an Orlando Magic podcast and content platform, so if you're interested in more Orlando Magic coverage, this is the place to be. So definitely subscribe if you're new around here. Thanks so much, everybody who is liking. I can see those likes flying in here now, so appreciate that. All right, a few more here from the chat. Man, we're already at 40 minutes. Yeah, we're going to call this thing here in just a second. Want to remind you while I'm looking for our next couple messages, Thursday morning, Jonathan and myself, you'll get a brand new episode of the Six Man Show. We're going to talk all about this game tonight, and more importantly, looking ahead to this series against the Celtics. It's going to be wild. I can't wait, man. I cannot wait. Can't wait. Kind of stinks that game 1 is on Easter Sunday, unfortunately, because I know it's a big day for a lot of people if you are religious in that way, and the time for family and all that kind of stuff. But game 1's got to happen, so we'll make it happen regardless. Let's see. Oh, this is a good point. Kevin says Fran's defense was class. Man, he's such a good defender. Yeah. So Wavy says Isaac was good tonight also. Absolutely, he was. Very, very good. It says Osama says AB is our dark horse in the Boston series, calling it now. I would love to see that. Love to see it. Michael Martin says, say hello to Eddie House while you're there. Bro, I haven't even thought about the Eddie House thing. Oh my gosh. Man, guys, and this is the biggest if in the world, I understand that. If we beat the Celtics, Eddie House is not going to hear the end of it from me. All right? If you were around last season, you know about this whole thing, or no, not last season. It was 2 seasons ago. Wait, no. Was it last season? It was last season. Yeah, because it was after the Black Friday game. Yeah. If you were around last season, we at the Six Man Show got into a little feud with Eddie House on Twitter, and it was electric. It was great. It was awesome. And I tell you what, if we were to miraculously beat Boston, I would absolutely bring that back up. Absolutely. Amazing. That's so funny. Lots more play the songs. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm just now getting to a little more recent chats here. Let's see. David Erickson says, who's heading up to Boston for game 1? Is anybody doing that? That'd be wild. Marriott Cass says, we're now 14-7 in the Blue Statement Edition jerseys. Those are my favorites. He also says, I think we use them for every playoff game, every home playoff game. I think that's all we wore last year at home. I'm pretty sure. I hope that's what we do at home this year. They're my favorite. They're my favorite current jerseys. They're awesome. They're great. Mark Edwards said J.I. played his role perfectly. Yeah, he was really, really good tonight. Really good. House says unretire Shaq's jersey. I mean, yeah, the attitude we get from him. No, thank you. El Mexico says, love the energy in the building today. Yeah, again, outside of that stretch, late third, early fourth, you could feel it was electric. It was electric. And here's what I'm going to say. This is something I was going to say on the 6-Man show when we record tomorrow night, but I'll give you guys a sneak peek because I'm going to say it again. Boston better not let us win one of those first 2 games. If we win one of those first 2 games in Boston, game 3 is going to be outrageous. The atmosphere in that building is going to be crazy. If we can bring back a 1-1 series back to Orlando, look out. Luis Rosario, dear friend of the show, says, leaving Kia, what a great game. Love that. Awesome. Let's see what else we got here. Major Everett says, when the announcer saw Franz's shot, he thought the hitch was a fluke. That's rough. Yeah, it's weird. Weird. Major Everett says, do you think playoff KCP is real? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I hope I'm wrong, but maybe it was real in the past. I have a hard time believing he's just going to be able to snap into it. Now, to be fair, he has been quite good, statistically speaking, over the last quarter of the season. So maybe he can pick it up from there, but we'll see. Christy says, I finally ordered the Stuff 5950 hat. If you read this on the show, it'll be how my wife learns about it. Whoops, sorry, Chris. I do love that hat. I'm a sucker for stuff, as you can tell over here. Got the stuff underwear, got the stuff. I don't even know what you call this. It's like a little puzzle that you put together. So yeah, when I saw that hat, I had to have it. Had to have it. Let's see. Kevin Annan says, how can the Magic organization make it so tickets go to true Magic fans? This is the hard part about Central Florida, as all of you know. If you saw this week in the news, the Pistons, they announced that they were limiting ticket sales to people within their geographic area, right? The Detroit metropolitan area, or actually they limited by state, I think, like by Michigan, even up into Toronto area, whatever, Canada, that whole whatever. Detroit's close to Canada, right? A couple other places. The problem is, in Central Florida, we have a lot of transplants, of course, right? So there's a ton of people that move down here from New England, a ton. So they will have Florida zip codes and all that stuff, but they're diehard Celtics fans. And it's just, there's just not a way to do that. Like, the only way that this can happen is if Magic fans strike first. It's 2 things. I don't think the organization could do anything. But the 2 things the Magic fans could do. Number 1, you strike first. You buy them at the presale tomorrow at 10 a.m. And if you don't have access to the presale, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure the presale is just you need to give them their email address. So go on to the Magic website right now and put your email address in. You can get access to the presale, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But even if you miss the presale, you buy them when they go, oh my gosh. You buy them when they go on general public sale at 1 p.m. You buy them then. That's the first thing. You gotta get there first. The second thing is you hold on to them. There's going to be a lot of people that buy these tickets just with the purpose of reselling. And on the one hand, I'm never going to tell someone how not to make money, right? Like, especially in this day and age, like, money is hard to come by. And if you find that you can flip tickets and make a profit, I'm not going to sit here and say, don't do that if that's how you put food on the table. But if you're a diehard Magic fan, buy the tickets and hold the tickets and go to the games, right? Or make sure that real Magic fans get those tickets, right? That's the biggest thing. I don't think the organization can do anything, which stinks. But that's just, again, that's what happens when you live in paradise. It's just the way it goes. Just the way it goes. Yes, Vic Rod, Mary J. Blige does perform that Friday, the 25th. So, yeah, my guess is probably going to be Saturday. There is an outside chance that it's Thursday. That's the other thing. Again, we'll see tonight when the schedule comes out. But I would guess that Game 3 would be on that Saturday, the 26th. That's just a guess. But we'll see. We will see. All right, last couple thoughts here. We've been going for 46 minutes. Good golly. All right. But this has been a lot of fun, guys. This is totally worth it, especially because we won't have another one of these for 5 days. So yeah, we'll get all of our thoughts in tonight on this one. Last couple thoughts before we say farewell. Okay, I can't read that one. Let's see what else we got. Ryan says, Trey failed the job interview for the Magic. Yeah, not good. Chris says, I want winners on the roster. Facts. Vsauce says, Trey demands the ball too much and is mentally weak. Not what we want as a culture and team built around Paolo and Franz. I agree. Mauro One Rod says, Cole and AB with no turnovers. Love to see that. Peach is here. He said, Trey is a clown and no one should want him in Orlando. What's up, Peach? Yeah, I agree. Absolute clown. Absolute clown. Let's see here. Majestic B says, Eddie House is a hack. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Swa says, game 2 in Boston is the Whites. Yeah, you can't control on the road. On the road, the home team always gets first pick, right? So if Boston picks whatever black or green, the Magic have to wear white. So it's just the way it is. The way it is, unfortunately. Major Ever says Boston likes to drop game 2s. So let's hope that happens. We can come to Orlando with that momentum because if it's 1-1 heading home, we could honestly go up 3-1. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right, let's. You guys, I can't read some of this stuff. Times TV says, Eddie, we coming to your house. If you know, you know. That's a great way to end the show, guys. Wow, what a night. A night for the record books. First ever play-in game for the Orlando Magic, and it ends up with a 25-point victory over the Atlanta Hawks. Big time stuff tonight. Magic back in the playoffs 2 years in a row. This time we go to Boston for the first round. It's going to be fun. Tune in to the Six Man Show tonight, the Six Man Show on Thursday, and we'll be back after Sunday's game. You know it. But until then, let's go Magic.